Welcome to another, this is a it's a podcast. Sorry, and boom, and yeah, sorry.
Okay.
This is someone's first time listening, probably.
Are you good?
I'm fine. I'll be good.
What's this energy that you're bringing?
I don't want to talk to you.
Well, that's understandable, honestly.
Yeah, I don't want to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, well, I'm a bad listener,
plus.
and also I've got a grating, horrible accent. So that's valid. That's valid.
The accent is it's not. You know how Harry Potter talked?
Yeah.
It's not that.
No, it's not that at all.
Hermione Granger. You familiar with the actress Hermione Granger?
Just not the actress's name.
We'll take the cart.
Okay.
That's what Ron said. Well, no, he said we'll take the lot. No, that's what Harry said. Yeah, and Ron, who was poor, he's like, holy shit! Wasn't that a fucked up kind of a dynamic they had? Ron was poor and dumb, and Harry was Mr. Potter.
Yeah.
And it was rich and famous and hot.
Yeah, and probably could have bought their family a house that wasn't like a leaky boot
shoe,
or whatever. Yeah.
Wasn't a makeshift boot. And yet he was like,
nah, I'm gathering interest, actually.
Yeah,
Sorry. Yeah.
I know I could change your life with one of these doubloons, but
but here, have a
vomit flavored
frog.
bean. Yeah. Welcome to All the Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
My name is Billy Blossom.
You're going by the old BB now, huh?
I'm going by BB. Yeah. What about it?
Your last name starts with a B.
Maybe it does.
And your street starts with an H. Your street name starts with an H.
My NHS number starts with
your mother's maiden name. We want to trace this back. This is an advice podcast where once a week we log in to jack on
off
to
okay wrong podcast.
that's our after dark podcast where we just jack off, like no talking.
It's just
oh god, no talking at all, and then one stops and just goes, I'm done. Oh yeah, no. I'm gonna keep going. Okay, yeah, no, just tell me when you're done. Okay. Most sterile orgasms.
No interaction or anything.
We don't say anything. One time I managed to muster the courage to say, you're really pretty. You go, what?
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing.
I said, you're really shitty, and then I hang up. I said, you make me feel shitty.
Stop. Such a stupid bit.
This is All the Space in Between, a weekly advice podcast, podcast experience. Beautiful intro by Slow Smog.
Yeah,
Go to slowsmog.org, slowsmog.bandcamp.com, SLOWSMOG. I am encouraging you. Fuck it. I'm daring you.
Oh.
I'm challenging you to go to look up Slow Smog on Spotify and see if you can. It's like a game. You know how like on computer games you're kind of using the mouse to kind of go around to see if you can get a headshot?
I guess so.
Yeah, if you're playing Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
I'm old, by the way. If you can, I'm 30.
You'll remember Counter-Strike.
You guys remember that?
You'll remember going to the internet cafe to play Counter-Strike. Yeah.
You know how you had to like use your mouse to kind of move it around to kind of get a headshot to people?
Okay. Yeah.
See if you can click the follow Slow Smog on Spotify button as a game. Or at very least, just check out Slow Smog's music on Spotify.
Yeah.
And fall asleep to it tonight. It's very good ambient music or instrumental music, or it's good. And also he does some singing. Borderline motherfucking rapping sometimes.
I wouldn't go that far.
He's got a He's got a trying to.
What are you about to say?
Walking a fine line. I was gonna say an urban kind of a beat to him. No, that's offensive.
You can't say that about someone who's Australian.
You can't, and yet they do sometimes. Isn't that weird? Australia is very racist. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I followed Australian battle rap for a long time, and I'm like, this is so cool. Oh, they're very racist.
Like, bold of us to say as people from, like, the United States and the United Kingdom.
But that's how bad it is. Me as someone from the United States, I look at their rap scene, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, and then I look at their, just their people and their culture. I'm like, oh, wow, you guys treat brown people really bad. Like, really terrible.
Like, even worse than us.
Yeah. And we're really
Jesus
bad.
Christ. Fuck.
I feel like I'm off topic here. Slow Smog's not racist. I feel like I'm going off a little bit off topic here. I guess what I meant to say was thanks for the intro song, and you should check out their music, and they're not problematic.
Okay.
That I know
as far as we know.
Yeah, again, they're Australian, which they're walking a fine line all the time.
By itself, yeah.
By itself might be a little bit of a red... It's a red flag.
Yeah.
It's a red flag.
It is.
Can you introduce the rest of the show? I feel like I'm not going to be able to do it.
Why?
I'm in that headspace.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Well, this is all the space in between. We are an advice podcast. We read out your emails every single week that you deliver to us to our email inbox, and it's an email reading show. What more can you say? What more can you do? What more could you want?
Shout out the email. Sorry, I'm giving you notes right now. Try that again from the top, but do say the email.
Say that. Oh, our email address.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah, say the email.
The whole
thing.
It's so long.
But just try and say it. Just try and say it. Baby, look at me.
Yeah.
Say the fucking email. Hey, look at me. Hey, you're doing it again. Say the fucking email.
Our email address, if you would like to send us a question that we'll answer on the show, is allthespaceinbetween@gmail.com.
Very good.
Nice and easy to remember because it is simply the name of the show at a popular email server.
Very
so
good.
There you go. Yeah.
Do you think we've gotten our sillies out and we can actually have an episode at this point?
I've always got more sillies left in me, but
we have 3 questions to get to on the show. We thank everybody for listening every single week that you do. Do we have anything to promote? I don't think so.
Just us in general.
Thanks for listening. We've been trying to promote like a little bit more, and as a result, I don't know if you've checked our Libsyn, but it's been going up a little bit.
Whoa!
I guess this whole talking about your product thing is actually working.
I guess so. Yeah,
that's what people do.
I had a photo shoot today. I'm taking photos of people today, and they both follow me on Instagram. And when I mentioned that I had to record a podcast later that night, they were like, "Oh, you like on someone else's, or do you have one?" I was like, "Oh no, yeah, I have one. I've been doing it for about 130 weeks
years,
now. A few years, every week. Haven't missed one yet so far. Do it every single Sunday of my life. But I was like, you know what? Why the fuck would you know that? Because when the fuck do I post about it on Instagram? You don't talk about it. Or anytime.
You don't ever talk about it. I'm sure most of your Instagram followers have no idea that you do a podcast.
Most of my Instagram followers don't know. They're just like, Billy's a photographer.
Into a show that I would say is okay successful. I like our numbers. We get questions every week.
Isn't it tragic that my Instagram followers only know me as being beautiful and talented and not also as funny?
Funny. That's what I was going to say.
They could add funny to that list. I'm depriving them of that. Sad, really.
I'm going to log into your Instagram. Sorry, I'm doing it now.
Okay.
All
right.
You changed your password. Weird. You said I could, sweetie, you said I could always go in if I ever felt the need.
Why would you feel
check
the
your
need?
Messages. Yeah.
My 4 messages I have on Instagram.
Yeah, I want to see what you and like Brooke are talking about.
It's just how I react to
each other's stories. Yeah.
The occasional flame. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
We need to get into a question. Also, I look, I'm gonna bring back your cam right now. Very not in a podcasting mood right now. You know why? It's so hot here. As you know, kind of the West Coast, more so the Pacific Northwest right now is just like experiencing this tragic heat wave.
Yeah.
And we're getting a little bit of it on the West Coast. It's not too bad, but it's very humid today.
Yeah.
It's so hot. I have my window open. So if Elon Musk wants to honk one more time, I'm here. But it's hot. I'm just in a little t-shirt in a tight little American Apparel.
It looks great on you.
Thank
it's
you.
A lovely shade.
It's called cranberry.
Oh, yeah. I was going to go for like an oxblood, but I guess it's not. It's like a muted cranberry.
It's a muted cranberry, yeah. Well, it's old.
Nice.
Yeah, it's old. I've been washing.
Great with your lip color.
Thank you. Now here, let me bring up. I'm gonna bring up the product page. We can compare it from what it did look like. Here, I have an old picture of me wearing it from 6 years ago.
No.
Do we get into the first question right now?
Yeah.
This first question is simply titled, "My Homophobic Best Friend." And it goes, "Good evening. I have a quirky little quandary to share with both of you today. My best friend is a barely bisexual cis guy. He likes to make a lot of homophobic jokes, and I admit I do find them funny. However, I am incredibly homosexual and non-binary, and I think there is a point where you have got to clarify that you are joking. And this motherfucker has not once said he is joking. Deep down, I know he is, but there is a little part of me that thinks he really does hate the gays. What do I do if this suspicion is true? Thank you, and have a good morning." This person's name.
Interesting.
It's a funny question.
It's a funny question.
It's a weird and funny question.
So hi, I'm gay. My friend is not. Well, he's on the way to being gay, but also homophobic.
My friend is only bi and cis. So okay.
Barely bisexual.
Barely bisexual,
which is a funny way of putting that. Yeah.
Barely bisexual is using kind of a lot here. Okay, if I'm being serious for a second, I feel like there is kind of a sort of a balance there to say, like, there's a spectrum of how gay you are, or how much of, if you're leaning more towards straight than you are not being straight,
yes, like a 1 on the Kinsey scale.
Exactly.
A 2,
okay.
perhaps.
Let's say we're looking. Okay, actually, let's just take the Kinsey scale, right?
Which I don't believe in, by the way, but
No.
let's take it for the purpose of this conversation.
Let's just use it as an example.
Okay.
I'd say that in this scenario, wherever you fall on that, grants you more homophobic jokes. If you're a 1, you barely get to say anything. If you're a 2, I'd like to hear it sometimes.
If you're a 0, you can't say shit.
You can't say anything. No. You're a 1 or 2, let's hear it sometimes, but hey, watch your fucking step with that to me, okay?
What does the Kinsey scale go up to? Is it like a 5 or is it like a 100?
It's a 100 would be so funny. Being just like a 64 on the Kinsey scale is really funny to me.
It goes up to 6. Okay. It goes up to 6. Oh, that's an annoying number for it to
It
go
is
up to,
so
but okay.
dumb.
Whatever.
Prevalence of homosexuality study. The Kinsey Institute. This is bad, right? This scale's bad? Like, is this scale
I don't know if it's bad. It's just not a very accurate way to look at sexuality.
I feel like I remember a time where this scale was canceled.
It probably has been. It probably has been.
Was the Kinsey scale ever canceled on Tumblr?
I mean, probably. I don't know much about like the actual like it being set up and who did it or whatever, but it's not an accurate way of thinking about the whole scope of human sexuality, just rating it on a thing of 1 to 6.
1 to 6. It feels it's too it's too little steps. And
it's also, I think it only accounts for like 2 genders also kind of thing.
It does, doesn't it?
It's just like, do you like your gender or the other gender? So that's quite limiting, obviously, but I imagine there's more of it wrong that I don't know, but yeah. I
believe in the scale.
Oh, okay.
I'm a 2. I'm a 2.
Are you looking at it now?
Yeah. I'm a proud 2.
Okay, cool. All right.
But sometimes I'm a powerful 4. You've been gone a long time. I'm a 3 or 4 now.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I a while ago, my friend got like all of her friend group to do she got all of her friend group and all of her partners to do the test, you know. And
what's the test?
The Kinsey scale test. There's like a test that you
there's an actual test.
Yeah, like you can just look at the numbers and go like, I'm here, but there's a test you can do that's like, and it asks you questions like, does the thought of your own genitals repulse you? You know,
really?
Stuff like, yeah. And like if you're like excessively straight, you know, would you, you know, does the thought of kissing someone of the same gender make you want to puke? You know, stuff like that.
But the last thing on the scale is just like, blow me. What? I said blow me. You heard me. Absolutely suck me off right now.
So, but yeah, there are tests you can take.
That's
not tests, quizzes.
I don't like the word test.
Yeah. No, test implies like they take a blood sample or something.
Yeah, I think that, but I don't even like even at its funniest. Exactly, failing the test is what we got another gay here to put him in a correctional facility. You know, fuck that. There's no way. I want them to just do an honest to goodness test. Some man with a powerful grip holds on to my junk. As he shows me like varying degrees, varying ages of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay.
And sees at which point I go full erect for Donnie Darko.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I go, that doesn't count. You're moving your hand. You're
God.
doing some of this.
Anyway, let me finish what I was saying.
Okay.
So my friend got her, I don't know why I'm protecting her identity. It's Vex. But
Vex did it, really?
But she got all of her friend group to do it and partners and stuff as well. And even like the straight guys still got like a 1.
Interesting.
Because they're just like, no, other guys don't like gross me out. I'm just not interested, you know, like, and that kind of brings you out to like a 1. One's pretty baseline for most straight people in the modern age, you know. One of her friends, though, got 0.
What?
And they were like, 0's so rare. You have to be so repulsed by your own gender to get 0.
Yeah, no, I don't even wash my balls, dude. That's gay.
Well, it was a girl. The scandal.
Oh my god.
But I was like, I don't think I've ever met anyone this straight before. This is you're like this is an anomaly in this day and age, someone this straight.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess you can't help it.
Yeah. Have you ever tried like
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's so tragic. Yeah, and there's like, if I could be born different, I really would.
Really, yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, have you ever tried like walking through a mall maybe? Like what, okay, how about this though? Like but like the Kinsey scale also isn't like taking into account like asexuality, is it?
Well, I'm on the Wikipedia now, and there's just there's an X after the 6, which just says no sociosexual contacts or reactions. So
yeah, and then in parentheses right here it says AKA Lil Freak, Little Freak Goblin.
So I guess you can get an X, which is just you're not on it. You're not on it anymore.
I don't like the scale, and I'm looking into...
No, the scale is not. It's not how human people work.
For sure.
Yeah, of course. But for the purpose but I did appreciate what you were saying before, that like the higher up the scale, you get a higher allotted homophobic jokes. You know?
Yeah.
What are you typing?
A call out post for Vex.
Oh my god. For what?
Vex, what's their at? Yeah, ran a tested for homosexuality before people could enter their home. You know how Vex like is very on top of it? Like it makes sense because Vex is very on top of like testing for COVID and stuff, you know? Very safe. It's a shame that also like transitions over, it sort of like seeps over to like whether or not you're gay, you know?
Yeah, well, that's why when I was there last week, I was only actually allowed in the garden.
In the garden,
I wasn't allowed to enter the house.
You can frolic amongst the fellow pansies, But if you, but to be allowed in my home, you're gonna have to be at least a 1.
Jesus.
We keep getting off track. Slow smog is not racist.
Oh my god.
This is what we have no proof.
We've moved on.
There's no proof. I've never seen anything.
Get back to the question.
We can someone who's a 1 say the F slur? Let's say that.
We're not getting into that.
Can they do that?
But I mean, no. But we're not. But that's a different question.
Making a lot of homophobic jokes. I see why that's a little bit infuriating.
Yeah,
I think honestly, at a certain, this is going to sound ridiculous, and you can't. And it's let's say this is me trying to. I'm taking into account the person's like is not asexual or anything, but at some point I'm standing up and I'm saying with my chest, and I'm just like, you're going to have to suck a dick in front of me if you're going to say those jokes. You're going to have to do something because you're going a little hard on it, dude. You're going just a little bit too much on that. Hey, chill out. This is a little like yeah, I wouldn't. I'm trying to draw a comparison here. Like, okay, I was born in Mexico, right? I'm half Mexican, but I am so whitewash. Listen to how I talk. It's disgusting. My last name is Welling. My legal name is Mitchell Welling. I am not held back. If I make a phone call, if I was trying to get a job and I make a phone call and go, "Hello, it's Mitchell," they're gonna call me back. Like there's gonna be no. I very rarely, let's say that, unless I was like very young, very rarely had to deal with like anything that held me back in any regard. I'm very privileged to maybe privilege isn't the right. I know it's the perfect word. It's like it is a privilege to not be held back by anything like that, because it's completely unfair that people are. But let's say if I were walking the streets in San Diego, and me looking like I do and talking like I do. Was making a bunch of racist jokes against Mexicans. I'm getting fucking punched.
As you probably should.
I'm getting jumped as I should, right? So I think that's the closest thing I can like draw a parallel to just say this is different, but in the same vein, I don't think they should be doing it.
Right, it's like, although you can be like, well, technically, my heritage is this, and I was born there, and my mother is blah, blah, blah.
Me explaining this to a bunch of people.
And I did speak Spanish up to the age of blah, blah, blah.
I remember.
But I've kind of forgot most of it now.
Look, I don't really speak it fluently at all now. I can understand some of it, but when I'm ordering from a Mexican restaurant, I can put on the accent, and they'll just immediately start kicking me onto the ground. Like, it's not enough, right? It's not enough.
Right, because you wouldn't have had those things said, like, to you.
To me,
excessively.
Ever. Not really.
You know?
Not unless I was very young.
So then it's not really yours to say, you know. If
totally.
Probably. I mean, you know. I would imagine. Yeah, I think it goes with that for a lot of stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So just using that as an example, I just feel like it's not right.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to sexuality and stuff, like, I was for sure guilty of it when I was, like, younger, I think, is, like, I felt very, like, weirdly not secure in my, like, queerness, because I was, like, dating a guy or whatever, which is, like, lame, who fucking cares, but, so I would, like, kind of overcompensate by, like, making lots of jokes about it and references to it and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
If you just, you know, that's not the way you should be compensating if you feel insecure about, like, your place in the community. The way that you should be compensating is by, like, taking an active part in the community.
Helping in some way, yeah. Whereas this other thing isn't quite helping, especially if, like, let's say you're making those jokes to somebody who doesn't know that that just assumes you're straight. Then you're just making homophobic jokes.
Right, that's a good point. Like, is this person just making the jokes like around you? 'Cause you're a lesbian, you're non-binary. Are they just making them like around you, so like you know that they're joking, or are they making them to like straight guys who then like, I don't know. It's a complicated area.
It is.
It's for sure complicated. It might be coming from overcompensating. It might be coming from like, you know, some internalized homophobia or whatever. There's lots of reasons, but I think you just gotta fucking say to him next time, just be like,
chill.
Yeah, chill, or acknowledge that it's a joke and like.
Okay.
You're not homophobic, right?
Yeah,
that would be
you don't believe
weird
this
of
stuff.
you.
Yeah.
That would be weird of you. You being not straight and me being a lesbian and non-binary and your best friend. That
Do they
would
call
be weird
themselves
if you were
lesbian in here?
homophobic, right? Yes.
Do they?
Well, actually, it says homosexual. I guess.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did.
Mm-hmm.
Homosexual, non-binary.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but like the funniest part of this email, because this email is really cute. The question more is just like, I like the part where it's like, this motherfucker has not once said that he's joking, which is really funny to just be like,
Yeah.
by the way, he hasn't actually said that he's joking, which that in itself is, I guess that's not the problem. I guess the problem is that they're doing it to begin with. But the actual question is, what do I do if this suspicion is true? So if it's true they're actually homophobic, what do you do?
What do you do? I don't know what you do.
You like, I don't know, stop being their
do?
friend, or just like try and change them, maybe try and like get to the root of why the fuck they hate gay people, and like, or maybe just separate yourself from this person. Like, what do you do? It's never a fun answer to just be like, oh, I don't know, that sounds horrible. that sounds like a bad thing to deal with.
Yeah, of course it does. I don't know. I've never had a homophobic best friend, I don't think. Yeah, they all shook themselves off pretty early, you know, upon looking at my haircut, I guess.
Of course.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, they were like, yuck.
I did have a racist best friend, and then we didn't talk for like many, many years. So
You had a racist best friend?
close friend. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Weird.
We had a big argument about it.
That
And then we didn't talk for many years. Then they came back and they were like, racism is bad. And I was like, congrats. You got there.
This was actually like a person, like your friend was a person of color, and you were pulling the whole like, you can be racist against white people thing against them.
Racism
Yeah, exactly.
shit.
Like
No.
I had a racist best friend, and it was just like
Fuck
a normal person that you were pulling a weird card with. Having a racist best friend that's strange. That's strange
It sucked.
to me. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucked bad. Yeah.
You had to have been super young though, right?
Yeah, I was super young, but this is like so fucking bad. Like during this argument we were having, it was me and another friend who were like on one side, and then this third person on the other side. We were having this argument, and they said the funniest fucking thing. It was terrible, but it's so nonsensical that it's funny.
Okay.
They were like, you two have your feminism thing, just let me have my racism thing. And it's like, what does that mean? What does that mean?
No.
Just because they both end in ism, it's not like a political belief. What the
We're
fuck?
all isms somehow. You guys have
Listen,
feminism.
you've got like that thing. I've just got this thing. They're both just things. It's like, what are you talking?
That's
insane.
That's blowing my mind right now. You have
I
feminism.
know,
I
right?
have racism.
Oh.
We're all doing something.
Oh, dude, it was bad.
That's nuts.
It was many, many years ago.
Was the person a guy?
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'll tell you after the show if you want to know. But
Yeah, I do. I don't know who the fuck it was.
I'll give you the goss.
Wow.
But yeah, it was like 10 years ago or something, you know. But yeah.
Mouth it to me.
No.
Mouth. Just do it really. Matilde?
No,
It
no.
was Matilde? Oh my
I didn't
god.
mouth anything there. No, it was not.
What? That's blowing my mind right now.
Anyway, Yeah, my solution was just not talk to them for like years. So
wow.
Don't know if that would have worked, because on the other hand, that could have, they just went and learned by themselves. But on the other hand, you could not talk to someone and they wouldn't learn. But it's not exactly your responsibility. So I don't know. That's messy. We have to hope they're simply not.
An odd theme to this episode. We're talking about racism a lot.
I don't know why this is happening, but
both in a jokey way and then in a serious way, which I guess is good. Because like you would agree that the there's this nuance that not everybody understands, and that is that and I'm gonna completely make this joke unfunny, but the idea that saying like, oh, by the way, like the idea that the person that did making sure that the person that did our theme song is not racist and kind of doubling down on that to make you question it is not a racist joke. It's a joke about racists.
Yeah.
They're the ridiculous people that you're making fun of here. I remember on Tumblr a long time ago, or I would just have friends, because we all grew up like with racist friends, friends that weren't like close friends, or just like people who went to your school who were just awful, You'd make a joke like that, which is a joke about the bad person, and then they would interpret that and just say like, oh, I'm racist, here's racist jokes, and they think it's the same thing. No, but here in this scenario, you're the punchline, you're the ridiculous one, we're making fun of you. Racists are worth making fun of because the concept is ridiculous.
Of course.
But it exists, and it's horrible. So a funny theme to the episode, a funny thing to talk about,
a not intentional one. Another funny thing is that we're over half an hour in and we're talking about just the one thing, but that I'm good with it.
I don't want it's completely okay.
It's our podcast. We can do what we want. It's all good.
As the saying goes. But to put a bow on this one, the realistically what I'm saying here is your friend is probably not homophobic. I think your friend is young, and they're taking up a larger space than they need to in this thing. And part of that is they think that they have the right to make these jokes, and you disagree. Because they're making them just too much. And I agree with you. I don't think they should make... I think it's insensitive to be making them like as much as they are to you...
Without clarifying,
as well as
could just be digs,
as well as hardly being bisexual to begin with. I think that's a bad move, and you're totally right for clocking it and saying like, you know what, that's kind of making me feel weird.
Yeah, like if you're gonna do it this much, you need to make some qualifying statements to it. Yeah. It's totally understandable feeling, I think.
But in a situation like that, I don't know how I would talk to the person. I don't know how I would just be like, hey, chill. I guess I would just say that. I would just laugh and be like, chill with that, though. Yeah. Hey, chill with that. Or maybe I would try, like, making fun of them. And
I wish I had a chill Californian accent so I could say stuff like that.
Bro, chill.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right when I say it.
Say it. Chill.
Chill.
Sounds fine. Sounds okay.
Yeah, but I couldn't be like chill with that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think.
No, you couldn't. Even hearing that was, it's not hot.
I just have to say, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you'd have to say, we'll take the lot. That's my new catchphrase.
Your impression of a British person, yeah.
Are we doing the other questions?
If you want.
Maybe we'll do one more.
Let's do one more. Let's do the second one.
You were going to read the other two, so just pick one.
Okay. I'm going to do professional pickle.
Okay. Really change the tone.
Okay. This one goes, hello, Mitchithium Billium. I hope this email finds you well. As you can tell by my email etiquette, I've finally fallen upwards and landed myself a very boring professional 9-to-5 office job. Haha, okay, but actually I am in a pickle. Sad face. Every job I've ever had before has been very casual. Suddenly I find myself in a position where I have a work email and boss and salary. For context, I'm also located in a very conservative area in the south, so it's not going to be a very socially aware workplace either. And I'm so scared of how my cringe little personality is going to blend in with this new environment. What do you guys do when you have to be normal? I already messed up once and humiliated myself. My boss found my obsolete Facebook page where I had put CEO of Antifa in my job description, and he legitimately almost fired me on my first day for that. I am queer, I am emo, and embarrassing by nature. It's only a matter of time before I do something so viscerally corny. Please give any and all advice or encouragement for someone who feels very underqualified and out of place. Thank you, this person's name.
I think we're going to talk about it again. I think that in the scenario of this email, I can feel myself like your work. This is like a professional environment with a bunch of adults from the South.
You always got to come up again.
We're going to talk about like people being problematic again, aren't we? We're going to talk about being around people who might be like homophobic and racist. Mm-hmm. What these themes, they follow us, and we don't actually mean for them to.
We didn't pick this out. No, we didn't do this on purpose.
It blew my mind. We picked this email because it's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Both me and you do not have that much opportunity to have to pretend to be quote normal.
Almost none,
because we don't have a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
And also, even if we did, I live in London, you live in Southern California. Mm-hmm. They're less conservative areas.
It's not and I wouldn't be working in just like this looks like they're, it seems like they're working in like a cubicle. It seems like they're working an office job amongst people where they have
they said office job.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that's like at all.
Neither of us have had an office job. No. I've had a couple of like jobs where I'm actually an employee of a company, but it was all like none of it was like being on a computer. It was like either charity fundraising stuff, we're being an annoying person on the street, or it was like front of house service. Mm-hmm. I did have to pretend to be normal for the front of house service job though, but the extent of that pretty much was that I had to wear a wig every single day.
A wig?
Which is kind of funny.
Why?
Yeah, and it was fucking summertime.
Why?
I couldn't afford a real hair wig, obviously, so I had to wear a synthetic hair wig. It was so hot on my fucking head. Yeah. Well, at the time, I had it was in 2012. Mm-hmm. I had a bright blue kind of mohawk with a rat tail.
Okay.
Which was not the vibe that they were going for, so I had to just wear just like a brown bob to work every day.
That's so funny.
It's really funny, right? Yeah, because I was serving these I was working in the it was the London Olympics, and I was working in the bar that was specially reserved for people who had the American Express like black card. Mm-hmm. So very rich Americans only.
Okay.
So they were like, you gotta look normal.
I would have just, that would have been cool to just, they're in London and they had just to see a blue mohawk, and they're like, right on, dude.
Yeah, punk rock,
London
Johnny
calling.
Rotten.
Yeah. This is cool.
Yeah, God save the Queen.
Yeah. Nazi punks, fuck off.
Nazi punks, fuck off.
That's what I'll say when I get there.
They know that phrase.
Fuck yeah, Nazi punks, fuck off. Who's that? Sex Pistols?
No, I don't think so. No, they were not radical enough to do that. I don't know who coined it.
Dude, it was, come on, it was, I can't believe you don't know.
I'm not that into punk music.
Oh.
I've just dated people who have been.
I think Jello Biafra said it. What, like, it was the Dead Kennedys.
Oh, okay. I do actually know a good amount of Dead Kennedys, and I've seen them live a couple of times, so that's a little bit embarrassing.
Did they say Nazi punks fuck off?
I don't remember them saying that. No.
Did you fuck Jello Biafra?
I don't even. Is that the guy from it? I don't even know what his fucking name is.
I can't believe you looked like you did in high school, and you don't know any of this.
I have a Dead Kennedys hoodie right here. Actually, this is funny.
Wait,
this is relevant.
You're gonna love this. I did fuck Jello Biafra.
Wait. Look, I'm gonna get this hoodie out. It's right here.
Okay.
And this is the hoodie that I used to wear in 2012.
Okay.
And it's got a homemade patch on the back that is the Dead Kennedys album cover to Police Truck. And it has an image of a policeman beating an inmate on it in black and white. And in 2012, they'd just redone my shitty area of East London, got like completely renovated so that we could host the Olympics. And they built a giant shopping mall there, like the biggest shopping mall in all of Europe, where before it was just like a literal industrial wasteland of abandoned warehouses.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to go check out the shopping mall that they've built. This was a couple of months before I got the job in the Amex bar. And I was wearing that hoodie, and there was security guards on the bridge, and they were really, really scared of, like, terrorism, I guess, because they just built this massive thing.
Yeah.
And they were like, you can't wear that here. And I was like, what? And they were like, you can't, that's like anti-police sentiment. You can't wear. Are you here to protest? I was like, I'm here to go to H&M.
As a protest?
And they were like, you need to take it off. And I was like, take it off and do what with it? They were like, you need to turn it inside out. And they made me turn my fucking hoodie inside out so I could enter, because they were like, no, is this a like, just because it had a Dead Kennedys thing on the back of it. And that was the same year that I got this job where I had to cover up my blue mohawk and wear a bob to work at the Olympics.
That's so funny.
It is funny. That was like surprisingly relevant. But obviously I'm a fucking fake fan, because I don't know the name of the singer.
I was literally about to say, you better name 3 Dead Kennedys albums in front of me now, or you're going to have to throw that away, sweetie.
What the...
You're going to have to throw the hoodie away, unfortunately.
I can name 3 songs.
Not what I asked.
Listen, 2012 was still the era of me illegally torrenting random songs.
Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely.
Onto my iPod. So, like, I just had a random collection of stuff. And a lot of it was just called, like, track 4.
Yeah, no, totally.
Okay.
I would just, like, have songs that I just was convinced was from The Cure, like, for, like, years. And I was, that's not a Cure song? No, it's from some other 80s band. It's like, cool.
Yeah.
No one, like, that's my nightmare today, but we were all just doing it in the past. Like, song titles were just...
anything was.
Like, fans were just naming songs whatever they wanted, giving them song titles that didn't actually exist. I had so many things called Untitled that weren't actually called Untitled.
Yeah.
Or fans would name it, like... They would just give it a creative name, and it's like, that's not what the Weaker Than song is called, but a fan just decided it was, so for 4 years I thought it was, you know?
Yeah.
That's my nightmare.
Yeah, so I had just like a random selection of Dead Kennedy songs from I don't know what album, I don't know what era, on like, I don't know what they were fucking called even, on my iPod, and I was like, yeah, this is good. Like,
when I was, was it 2012? Wait, 2012? Fuck no, it wasn't anywhere close to 20. This was like 2004 that I did this thing. I can't.
Yeah, I was like still doing it.
Yeah, that's oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, I was still torrenting songs like well past when it was.
Yeah, I was gonna be like 2012 is like I was what? I was like released. I was like uploading Sleep onto Spot to a thing that would put it to Spotify at that point. You know, 2012 is we were already way past that.
Yeah, but I still had a brick for a phone, and I was still using an iPod, and I was still torrenting things. I'm about to buy something on iTunes. Are you mad?
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, in 2004, I had a similar thing happen to me. I had a hoodie, and on it, I had used bleach to like paint something, or to splatter bleach on it in a specific way and like write words. It was super punk. I wish I still had it. Like it was just covered in all this stuff, and there was a big anarchy symbol in the back, and there was a line in the back from an Immortal Technique song, and it said, it said, "I don't pledge allegiance, fuck the president's speeches," on it, right? So it was 2004. We still had Bush as the president, so I was feeling Bush, a certain way about it at 14, way more into politics then than I am now. but
yeah.
But I wore it all the fucking time. And I think I even censored the word fuck. I put like extra bleach on it because I kept getting in trouble in school. So I put extra bleach on the word fuck so it looked all, distorted and weird. And I was wearing that at the shopping mall here. And I was walking through and I had my guitar strapped to my back. It was in its own like case, Yeah. And I was walking through, and before I entered the mall, the guy stopped me and he was like, no. What's in the bag? And I was like, my guitar. And he was like, man, I'm so sorry, but you're going to have to show it to me. And I was like, I don't mind. Yeah, that's totally, yeah. And I take it off and I unzipped it and I showed him the whole guitar. And he's like, yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I just had to make sure it wasn't like full of guns. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's not full of guns.
Like a 1920s gangster movie where there's like machine guns in a violin case.
Yeah, that's getting everybody. Yeah. In there, yeah, I do have a Tommy gun in there.
Tommy gun, that's exactly the kind of.
I do have a Tommy gun.
Yeah.
I'm a mobster from the 1940s. Yeah, but stuff like that would happen. But at the same time, like I was wearing a fucking. It just I don't know. I don't have a negative feeling about something like that happening personally. I was just kind of like, yeah, no. I would hate if it was full of guns too. I would hate if you let a person into the mall. That's like, I mean,
guns. You live in America. That's actually like a threat.
It's a huge concern for everybody.
So I'm like, okay, reasonable. He's doing his job. Whereas like the thing with me, I was like, you're just being a fucking job's worth. Like I'm not doing like.
That's true.
That's stupid. That was stupid. I was very mad. But I also wanted to go to H&M, so I did it.
Yeah, you were like, well, I need a Henley top. At an amazing deal, of course.
But that said, the only jobs I've had have not been like, although I would have to pretend to be quote normal for them, they weren't like career jobs. They were like gig jobs that I was only planning on doing for like 6 months or so anyway, And since then I've just been doing my own shit where I made a thing of being like kind of a little freak. So I don't have that much occasion to have to kind of pretend to be whatever. My family also are like very, very left leaning, so I don't have to like do anything with them. We're all pretty open. I am like, I don't have good advice for this because I just live my life as a little freak.
I'm glad that you brought it back to this because I was like, the person listening, the poor person is just like, I literally don't give a fuck about what you guys did when you were kids. Like I don't fucking care. Answer the question because we went way off on it. Let's revisit it. Let's look at it. I think we can actually help this person, or at very least, give some bad advice.
Oh, okay. Well, we can definitely give bad advice. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're doing it. We're doing it now. That's what we do every episode. Okay. So, for context, I am also located in a very conservative area in the South, so it's not going to be very socially aware workplace either. And this person is this gay little emo, but is actually isn't that kind of like cute to think about though, that like they have to dress down now. They have to just kind of like, you can tell what you are, but you have to just wear like business clothes now.
Yeah.
That on the week, as soon as you get home, you're like, all right, I'm messing up my hair and I'm putting on these clothes and I look like this. But in this setting, I'm a professional and I have to do this thing. Yeah. I've always kind of romanticized the idea of like working in like a cubicle and in an office and having a job and having a break room and just kind of like talking around a water cooler.
I have not.
I've romanticized that a lot in my life. And I think it's because it's like the job that I have is so the opposite of that I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's maybe that's cool. But it's not, because it's full of boring people who would probably make fun of you if they were to just see you walking down the street.
Yeah, I mean, it very, very much depends on what the company was and where. Yeah, I'm sure that there are lots of jobs like that are totally fine and fun, but
H&M headquarters.
One, not so much. H&M headquarters.
Boom. I'd love to work there.
But this sounds like not so much that situation. I will say, to put my serious answer head on for a minute, the writer's kind of concerned about, they keep saying the word corny.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, and cringe. They're just like, I'm so scared of like what my cringe personality is gonna do, and like I'm gonna do something viscerally corny, and I'm already messed up by like having this stupid anti-fad joke on an old Facebook page. And it's like, if it's a joke, first of all, and like if there's someone who thinks that it's not a joke and actually something to take seriously, then like, that's a good indicator of what you're dealing with, I suppose. That they would think that would be a fucking fireable offense. But I will say that, being queer and being emo and even being just like kind of loud and clumsy and stuff is not necessarily cringe or corny. Like, yeah, I don't know. You just sound like a little bit harsh on yourself. You're just like, oh, I'm the weird one, so I'm gonna do something weird and it's gonna fuck it up and blah blah blah. It's like, I don't, you're not necessarily cringe.
No,
I don't think you're cringe. Let's say that. It's not cringe to be the only weird person in a kind of normal 9 to 5 place. I actually, maybe I'm romanticizing the idea of that being kind of cool.
It is cool. It is cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's just my serious note. Is like, I would not be too concerned about these kind of boring conservative people thinking that you're embarrassing, because they're not really the kind of, I know you have to impress them because you're at a job, obviously, and you're kind of like, I kind of want to keep this job. But as far as like personality traits go, like, you're not going to gel with them anyway. Like, I don't think you should worry about like tailoring your personality to gel with these kind of people who are not the kind of people that you want to be with socially anyway, like, yeah, you have to be with them during the workday, but you don't have to be friends with them, and you don't have to like, I don't know, temper down your worry about being cringe to them. Like, who cares if you're cringe to a fucking conservative? Conservatives are cringe, you know? I hope they think I'm annoying in a way, you know? Like, well, not annoying, but, I'm not gonna be the best mate, am I?
No,
it's obvious. Like, yeah. So that's just a side note, a side 2 cents from me.
Yeah, to add to that, you're not the cringe one here, for sure. You're not the corny one here in a situation like this. I'm not undermining people who have jobs like that or anything, but like if you seem like a very unique and cool person, and you're very thoughtful for even being concerned about like what if almost like if you're gonna make the environment like worse, just by being there. When in reality, it's like everybody's fucking embarrassing and corny. I'm 30 years old. I'm about to be 31. Every single one of my friends that are my age, or near my age, or older than me, or anything like that, they're not really online anymore. They'll post on Facebook, and they still think it's appropriate to use words like friendo and doggo, and they say they can't even adulting today and stuff like that. That's real hard for me to look at. It's getting real hard for me to like but everybody's embarrassing. Everybody's cringe,
Everyone's cringe to someone.
Like, that's the baseline of normal now. You're good. You're fine. And yeah, I mean, this, if you have a salary, you're in a pretty good position. But this might not be a forever thing for you. Just don't make you too normal. Hang on to that like weird aspect of you.
Yeah.
Keep it with you. Don't try and tone it down any. And just be yourself. Don't make jokes that'll get you fired, obviously.
Yeah.
But do that. You could hate it. I think it's normal to, like, not get along with your boss or some of your employees. Maybe you'll find a friend there. Maybe not. Maybe it'll just be a place that you work for a little bit. But I don't think you're going to be embarrassing.
No. I think you're going to be good.
We think you're going to do great.
Yeah, there's some genuine advice and encouragement from us.
A little bit.
On being a little freak.
Are we over? Oh my god. We're at an hour.
Oh my good god, we're almost at an hour.
We gotta stop. This has been All the Space in Between. My name's Mitch.
My name is Billy Blossom. If you yourself have a question for us or for our listeners, you'd like us to read it out, you'd like us to give some advice to you, you'd just like to give us a little hearty chuckle, you should send us an email. We love to get them, we love to read them. Our email address is allthespaceinbetween@gmail.com. And if you enjoyed this show and you think other people might enjoy the show, it's very easy to share this podcast. It's very easy to tell your friends, and we encourage you to do so. Tell them about it, and tell them to look up All the Space in Between on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts or on YouTube or anywhere that podcasts are found. But if you want to send them to one convenient location where they can find every episode streaming or the links to where they can find those episodes, just tell them to go to our website, and our website is allthespaceinbetween.com or smallhog.com.
You could still go to smallhog.com for like the next year.
We still got smallhog.com.
For the next year, you can still go to smallhog.com. I think that's it. I am like almost dripping sweat at this point. It's so humid. I'm so low energy. I'm so tired. It doesn't even feel like I'm here right now.
Towel you off.
We need to hose me off at this point.
Hose you off and then towel you off.
Towel me off at that point. New episodes, everybody. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.